Ladies, I'll just say ladies because that's what all of you are. We are here. Finally, we have sat through 5 long weeks, 5 dreadful weeks. One of those weeks being absolutely horrible because, we had to watch Rose Namajunas headline a card. What are we doing here? I'll just say ladies because that's what all of you are.
5 long
we
fight
are
nights.
Here. We discussed what the heck are they doing with the fight nights. Seriously, no up-and-comers are fighting, no potential champs. What is going on with the fight night? We have made this journey all the way with all the drama, all the talk, all 299 is going to be better. This card looks better on paper, this, that, the other. It doesn't matter. It's finally here. UFC 300 is upon us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's fight week. And when I tell you I couldn't be more excited to finally prove all you bummy boy fanboys, including Miller himself, wrong. I've been telling y'all this whole time. Now, I'm going to say this. I want to say this right here, actually. I want to say this. This is a big week. This is a big week. Yes, it's UFC 300. That's incredible. That's beautiful. That's cool. That's great. 300. What does that number mean? I don't know. Okay, it's just cool because we got another 100 in. But this is a special week for somebody very, very special. And Miller's going to hate this, and that's why I love it even more. This is a very special fight week for one individual. Not because he's going to be champion. No. He's already champion. This is the week that Alex Pereira claims the throne of the UFC and becomes the official face of the UFC with the dominant performance and knockout he is going to put on Jamal Hill. Now, I'm telling y'all right now, this card is absolutely stacked from top to bottom. We have guys on early prelims that could potentially be on the main card. We got guys in the prelims that could potentially be the main event fight. But one man will shine above the rest, and that will be Alex. Now, I want to tell you this. Alex is going to be the first triple champ in the UFC. He's going to be the first to do it in 3 divisions. He's going to be the first to do it in 3 divisions. After he makes absolute light work of Jamal Bummy Boy Hill, Noodle Boy Hill, Tubby Boy Hill. Jamal's stomach is looking like mine. I'm not even going to lie. It makes me sick to my stomach. That's a fighter? Put me in the octagon. I guess I'm in fight shape. I guess I'm in fight shape. Go ahead and put me in the octagon. But when Alex makes light work of Jamal Hill and becomes the official face of the UFC, it will then be time to send him on his way. On his way. I don't care about Tom Aspinall. I don't care about Stipe. I don't care about any of those bums. The only fight there will be to make is Alex Pereira and Jon Jones. And that would be the biggest fight card ever. But with that being said, UFC 300 is absolutely stacked. We got more fights on this card. Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway. A lot of y'all been talking crazy. In the chat. On the post, Miller's been posting, calling me a casual, saying this and that, talking sideways out of the side of your neck. Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to the source, the king, the one who gets it done, Mr. Intel. You're on the #1 live MMA commentary channel on YouTube. Do you know who you're talking to? I don't just claim this. This was bestowed upon me. Justin Gaethje is going to knock out Max Holloway. Get ready for the fireworks. Get ready for the fireworks because there's going to be knockouts left and right. And here's another one right in front of my very eyes. Who is it? Arman and Charles Oliveira. Arman and Charles Oliveira? Are we serious? Charles, the dude has been knocked down in his past 6 fights.
Oh, man.
The dude who looks old in the octagon now. Are we serious? There's another knockout happening right there. Arman with the knockout. And I'll just leave that for the main card. We don't even have to get in. We don't even have to get into Yuri and Alex Rickett. We don't even have to get into Sterling and Calvin Kattar. We don't even have to get into Holly Holmes and Kayla Harrison. We don't even have to get into Yusuf and Diego Lopez. God, are we serious? I'm on the early prelims right now. Jalen Turner and Moicano. Andrade. Jim Miller and Bobby Green. This card, people sat here and they told me $299 was better than $300. They told me on paper and it will perform better. And now we sit here with the most stacked card I have ever seen in my entire life. Fight week, baby.
Where shall we begin? #1 commentary channel on YouTube. Trey in the building, bringing the energy. I'll be honest, man. Me and Trey, I feel like Shaq and Kobe right now. That might be too much credit for Trey, actually. It's more like Penny Hardaway and Shaq, me being Shaq.
It's more like Stephen A. and Skip, and you're Stephen A. Don't really have the stats and everything. I'm Skip.
I mean, if you want to be Skip, if you want to take that one, man, where his show is suffering without Stephen A., then I guess I am Stephen A. Nonetheless, listen, I want to park the car somewhere where you talked about Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan. I don't know if we should start right there. It's a little bit. Should we go early prelims or?
We can tap the early prelims. You might as well. They're absolutely stacked. This card is hands down on paper the best card I have ever seen in my entire life.
Let me just share something with you real quick. Just hold this in the back of your mind. Don't put it in the front, all right? Just hold it. We'll talk about the early prelims, but I am convinced that you're wrong about one fight. Well, a few, but there's one that you're way off on. When you said Arman Tsarukyan was gonna knock out Oliveira, that's when I said, hold up.
Knock him out.
After watching some film, getting back in the lab, I think Oliveira is gonna knock out Arman. Again, hold that in the back of your mind. Hold that in the back of your mind, and let's go with the
Not Miller picking his worst take on UFC 300. Are we serious? You think Miller? Oh my god!
I guess we're not gonna park the.
We got to move on. I got too much to say about this. I could hang up right now. It makes me sick to my stomach. The fact you think Charles is going to knock out Arman, you're hilarious. First of all, it's funny. We have a good joke to start off the show. Hey, hello to everybody who's joining. Let's talk about the early prelim. We're gonna pretend Miller didn't say that. Let's talk about the early prelim.
Real quick, for anybody that wants to call in, I just want to say real quick, let me and Trey at least get through the early prelim, and then we'll have callers. I think that's fair, right? Because fans want to maybe talk about more. So it'll be a longer show as long as Trey's okay with that. It'll be a longer show, but let me at least get through the early prelim with Trey, and then we'll have people call in. With all that being said, Figueiredo Garbrandt, I think that's an easy one. Let's start off with that. I was saying earlier, I was impressed with Figueiredo being able to deal with the jab of Rob Font and closing the distance. He's fighting now Cody Garbrandt. If anything, I mean, no disrespect, but that's an easier fight, I think, on paper. Rob Font may not have the, maybe you could say, knockout power that Cody Garbrandt has, but this is at 135, and I don't know. I don't even know if Cody's power travels that much. He went back down, then went back up. All that to say, I don't think he's that big of a threat for Figueiredo. I think this is an easy one. Good first fight on the card. I got Figueiredo winning a decision.
Hey, I see what you're doing, Dana. It's genius. You want to start it out with an absolute bang. You want to finish to start it off. And who do you put in there? You put in Cody No Chin Garbrandt, and he is going to get absolutely clapped when he steps in the octagon. I can promise you that much. That is a guarantee. I don't listen. It's two former champions. I get it. Cody has no chin now. Cody is literally trying to find his place in any division that will take him. It ain't happening against Figgy. It's just not happening. I'm sorry.
Fun fact for you: Cody hasn't been knocked out since 2021. So you know, could there be
Let's
something
talk
to-
about let's talk about his opponents since then. Also, what's those looking like?
You're absolutely right. I mean, it's been Brian Kelleher, Trevin Jones. Those are the two wins he has. Besides that, before that, it was Kai Car-France.
Listen, wait, hold on. Okay, I didn't know Boom was one of those. Okay, Brian Kelleher, kind of a dog. Okay,
No,
kind of a dog.
But again, this is Figueiredo, a former champion. What I don't like about Figueiredo sometimes is, to me, he's a little bit, just a tad bit gun shy sometimes. Now, this is against Cody Garbrandt. I don't think he's going to be too hesitant, I would say. So I guess we'll see. But do you give Cody any chance at all? Or are you just saying, no, there's absolutely no chance?
I mean, if he lands, maybe you got a puncher's chance. But what are we really talking about here? Cody's an absolute shell of himself. He's just not that guy anymore. He's just not. Okay, this is look at his. You just named his past two fights. How big of a jump is that? I mean, good gosh, that's a whole different beast. It ain't happening.
Him being a former champion himself, man, to I guess have this fall from grace. Maybe this is his last shot. Now, let's say he doesn't look good at all and they're against Figueiredo. You think that's it? Or if hypothetically, let's say he wins, what do you do with Cody Garbrandt then?
He keeps going and works his way to a title shot. He needs maybe one or two more fights. I mean, that division sucks. So
he's had beef before with Sean O'Malley. I'm just saying, he wins tonight. Does he get one or two more before going for the title, or there's just absolutely no way?
Maybe one more, and he gets the title.
Figgy is a minus 340. Cody is a plus 270. So imagine you have a parlay and Cody just disrupts that early on the card. No chance?
You're not. Find me one person who was confidently betting in Cody that's not just doing it for the odds. Ain't nobody doing that. Nobody actually believes in him. It's not happening. Like I said, look at the competition. It is a massive jump. Absolutely. A massive jump in skill.
No, I agree. It's tough for him. I mean, again, Figueiredo's power. If he was able to hurt Rob-Font, and I hate to do MMA math a little bit, but he had no trouble standing in the pocket with Rob-Font that has a crazy range, right, as far as height and reach advantage against Figueiredo. If that's the case, and he does quite well, Cody's small, man. I can't see him having any shot.
Cody's a bum. Cody's a bum. I'm done talking about Cody. He's somebody who's hanging on for dear life. What are we talking about here?
I mean, the reach is what? Even Figueiredo has the reach advantage as well, too. Tough. So going on to the next fight, though. Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. And guess who's the underdog on this one? Do you know the odds for this one?
I mean, I'm just going to assume that Jim Miller is the underdog just based off age. Absolutely disrespectful, because when you step in the octagon with Jim Miller, Drew, I'm looking at you. Please see my eyes when I say this. When you step in the octagon with Jim Miller, you're stepping in there with a killer. I told you he's a dog. Every time he steps in there, Drew hates on him. I say, Jim Miller's going to get it done. He says, no chance. How old is he, 40? I say, yeah. And he's a dog. That's the next Glover right there. Give me Jim Miller.
We were talking bad about Glover, if I remember.
Glover won the championship old, so it kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's just, but you get it.
Listen, 3 wins in a row for Jim Miller? 4? No, wait, hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is he on a 6-fight win streak right now?
Got to be 7. That's what I'm saying. People got to stop hating on Jim Miller. I'm
lying. 3 wins, then he loses. Then he loses. Then he wins 2. He's 5-1 in his last 6.
I mean, who did he lose to?
Hernandez, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So I mean, he lost to Alex Hernandez, and
I can't believe he lost to that bum. Alex Hernandez is an absolute bum.
and that was a decision as well too. And again, I brought this up earlier today. Bobby Green's last fight. Do you remember what happened? There might still be a dead body. Alongside him it was Bryce Mitchell, if you remember correctly. The worst knockouts in UFC as of recent has been Mitchell, Bobby Green, and am I missing anyone else? Maybe Beneil Dariush as well too. Bobby Green took too much punishment after that fight. He took about, I don't know, 17, 18 extra strikes. You don't think that plays a factor this fight coming up? It sounds like you got Jim Miller winning this fight, and I'm just telling you, I am too.
Well, I mean, finally, you got some common sense on you. You're following the source, the king, the one who gets it done, Mr. Intel. You're finally learning something, growing some balls, and picking some fights. Jim Miller's winning this fight. And also, I don't like Bobby Green. Bobby Green's attitude just gets on my nerves, the way he acts. He just tries to act hard all the time, be all thuggish. I'm just like, come on, give me a break.
He's a minus 205. I like Jim Miller in this one.
Bobby Green giving real Jorge Masvidal vibes these days.
I mean, that's not necessarily the worst thing. You could be Bryce Mitchell or Colby Covington, which is worse. But I don't know. I think Jim Miller has looked sharp in his previous fights.
You think you're going to bait me into these traps and try and take me off? I'm not falling for it today. I got bigger fish to fry.
Oh, I can't wait till we get to the third to the last fight. Yeah, that's a good one. Anyways, I might dye my hair blonde. But anyways, let's get to the next fight. Let's fly through these a little bit. The next fight is Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. It's a minus 110 for both fighters. How do you feel about this one?
I love Andrade here. Anytime Andrade has a close fight like this, like where the line's close, I'm always going with her. She's a dog. She's got heavy hands. She's one of the most vicious girls in the fight game right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's an old school fighter. I like it. That's what I want right there.
I just think she has the power advantage significantly, where if they start landing on each other, it's going to be Marina that feels it the worst. So that's an easy one for me. I got Andrade as well too. Listen, last fight of the early prelims. This is an interesting one right here. Jalen Turner versus Renato Money Moicano. What's your pick?
I don't get what everyone sees in Jalen Turner. Oh. I don't understand. I really don't get the hype. He's not that great of a fighter to me. Even when he wins, I'm just like, okay, like every time I see a Jalen Turner fight, I'm just like, sweet, who's next? It never sticks with me. I don't get the hype behind this guy. I'm going Moicano all the way. Absolutely.
Why? This is where
he's just a more skilled fighter. I think he's better all around. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to get it done. He's hotter. He's, you know what I'm saying? It's Moicano's time. Jalen Turner is not as nice as y'all. Why do y'all think he's so nice? I don't understand that. What has he done? Who has he beat?
This is another little gem that you could keep in the back of your mind. Again, try to be patient. He reminds me of Charles Oliveira. Speaking of Jalen Turner, on a good night, the man is scary and could beat almost anyone. He's big for the division, lanky, has power. He might not have necessarily the IQ or, you know, the smarts to get the job done consistently, but if he figures that out, physically, he's a physical specimen. He's dangerous at any given moment. Moicano at the other side, I mean, it would be great to hear a post-fight interview from him, but I think Jalen is going to turn his lights out.
Miller, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? This is where I'm the source. I'm the king. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm Mr. Intel, and that's because I know all. I've been told multiple times nobody's ever turned down a Jalen Turner fight. Every time they're offered it, they say yes because they know it's an easy dub. What are we talking about here? What has he actually done? Why is he scary?
Because he has
saying he's like Charles Oliveira, like that's any night you can win. Miller, you can say that about any fighter on their best night. They can win any fight. What are we talking about? What kind of statement is that? On their best night, they could win any fight. What does that even mean?
That means he has a knockout, 10 knockout wins. Jalen Turner has beaten some decent names. Most of his wins are by finish. The guy's dangerous when he puts it all together. But he has had some stinkers. Again, a great example that's very similar to him is Charles Oliveira. He's had some stinkers, but when he's having a good night, he's tough to beat. And I think Jalen Turner is one of those fighters. Now, against Renato Moicano, I don't know what the odds are. I think they're pretty close. I wasn't too convinced with Moicano's last win. Were you?
Like if he won or not, he definitely won.
Were you convinced with his last win against Drew Dober, the unanimous decision, where he kind of laid and prayed?
Yeah, I think he won for sure.
No, of course he won, but it wasn't. I wasn't impressed.
To do that to Drew Dober though, like
You swap Drew Dober with Jalen Turner. I don't think it ends the same way, especially again
I
with
think
the
it could
range.
easily go the same way.
Drew Dober couldn't defend the takedowns. I think again Jalen Turner is going to be a little bit difficult to take down. Turner is going. I think it's going to be artwork what he's going to do to Moicano. He's going to kill the hype.
That's what I'm trying to tell you though, Miller. Jalen Turner is the hype right now.
You really think Jalen Turner's dangerous, man?
Everybody,
Again, did you see what
he's
he
not
did
as
to
nice
Bobby
as
Green?
Bobby Green sucks.
Stop it!
Bobby
Stop
Green
it!
sucks.
Didn't you pick Bobby Green to be
Miller.
Islam Makhachev? No, I might have thought about it, but
what are we talking about? Bobby Green, bro. Bobby Green
is
sucks.
slick.
Miller,
Has
we
some of
just-
the best striking in the UFC.
Jim Miller is about to do light work with Bobby Green. Like, what are we talking about here? Bobby Green sucks.
I genuinely
Bobby
think,
Green convinced y'all because he went on a little. This is what I'm saying. Y'all get so fooled by these guys who go on little 4-fight win streaks against nobodies, and then they go fight somebody real, and they lose to that somebody real, and then y'all are like, well, they should have lost to them because they're better. So, but Bobby's still not like Bobby sucks. Okay, I'm sorry.
and
He ain't
Moicano's good.
Moicano's decent. He's on his way.
What do you like about Moicano besides his post-fight interviews? I don't think nothing stands out to me when it comes to Moicano.
All right, I'll say this. Nothing necessarily stands out. I just think he's an overall very skilled. Like, I just think he's skilled. Like, he's just technical, and I just think he's skilled. Compared to Jalen Turner, yes. I think Jalen Turner gets sloppy sometimes.
He does. I again, he reminds me of Oliveira on a bat. He makes some, suspect decisions. But if he's on, he's tough to beat. I got Jalen Turner by knockout. How do you have it for Moicano?
Decision.
Interesting. Next fight now. This is the first fight of the prelims. So that we just recapped really quickly the early prelims. This is a crazy fight. Sodiq Yusuff versus Diego Lopez. Now, Diego Lopez did my boy Pat Sabatini dirty with the knockout. Diego Lopez, I would argue, is probably one of the scariest 145-pounders in the UFC. He's fighting Yusuff, who's also scary as well, too. And Yusuff being number 13. I think this is a great fight for Lopez to get to the top 15 rankings. I'm going Lopez. Who do you got?
Here you go, Lopez. This is your chance. This is your time to finally make your name. With that being said, I cannot go against my boy Yusuff. I just can't do it. I love him.
Wow.
Listen. It's biased. I'm a suck. I just love the guy. I love watching him fight. I just love the guy. It is what it is. There's nothing special about it. It ain't because he's the better fighter or anything. I just like him.
That wow, expert analysis from Trey Mellon here.
That is it. There's nothing to break down about it. The expert analysis you need to know about it is I'm picking Yusuff and Miller's a dummy, so you don't want to go with Miller. I would choose with me, okay? If you want to make some money, go ahead and pick Yusuff.
How did he do on the last card?
Better than you.
I don't know about that. Diego Lopez, listen, I think he's one of the most dangerous 145-pounders. Either one is dangerous, but Lopez, I think sky's the limit. He's pretty big for the division. At 145, there's another name that we'll talk about, 145, that has arrived on the scene in a little bit. But I don't know. To me, Lopez is one of the most dangerous. It's close. They have Yusuff at 136. They have Diego Lopez at a minus 162. Close fight, pick 'em fight. Almost. I'm gonna go Diego Lopez. Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison.
Are we serious?
I think I don't know.
Are
what
we
you're gonna
serious?
Say, so I'm interested to hear.
I'm going Kayla Harrison, of course. Holly Holm is old and washed and just done. She's fried. Like, she's just hanging on in the UFC, just getting a couple more checks before she goes. She might retire this fight.
Is Kayla even gonna make
that's
weight?
a bold prediction.
You think she's gonna make weight? You think she's gonna make 135?
How dare you weight shame a woman? That's crazy.
I'm just
That's crazy.
saying.
If she wants money, she better make weight. I mean, I don't.
She struggled to make that before. You kind of remind me of a Kayla Harrison, kind of look like a little bit. I mean, I don't know. This is tough, man.
What?
This is. You guys have something. I don't know what it is. Let me look at the picture real quick. I think it's the jawline. It's something. You guys got something similar. Nonetheless, Kayla Harrison, I think she's gonna struggle making weight. I think striking wise, she's not up there with Holly Holm. First fight in the UFC, she's not ready. I'm not gonna say that Holly Holm is gonna knock her out. I'm gonna say she's gonna cruise into a decision.
You don't think she takes her down at all?
I think Holly Holm stays away. I think Ronda Rousey tried the same thing as well too. Struggled doing that. Like, who has she beaten? You saw her. She beat Aspen Ladd recently.
She hasn't. Who?
Kayla Harrison. And the fight before that,
That's
she almost lost as well too.
That's what I'm saying though. She hasn't even been in the UFC though.
She lost
So,
to
we don't
Larissa
really
Pacheco,
know.
unanimous. Exactly. And granted, I mean, how do you feel about the women's UFC MMA skill compared to PFL or
That's what I'm
Bellator?
saying. Like, how big of a difference is that really after you get past the first 3 people in every division? Like, is it really that big of a difference? I don't know. I have no idea. Every time I see a girl fight, it's the same thing. They just punch on each other for 3 rounds. Nothing really happens. And then somebody chooses a winner somehow.
Juliana Pena might beat Kayla Harrison. I don't know. It's tough to say. I'm not too high on Kayla Harrison.
But Pena is better than Holly Holmes, no?
You really don't like Holly? Like, she's not a bad striker.
She's a decent striker, but like that's it. She like what else does she like? She has some hands. That's it. She's a one trick pony. She's old. She's washed, kind of like she don't have the stamina no more. Like
she has good takedown defense. And speaking of takedown defense, another person that I don't think has good takedown defense. Well, granted, he's going against one of the best bantamweights, arguably the greatest bantamweight of all time. Calvin Kattar versus Aljamain Sterling to switch up a little bit. This is Sterling's path to the title. Get this win right here. Win. We need some fresh meat at 145. It's getting a little boring. It was Volkanovski versus Max Holloway about 7 times. It got a little boring. Why not spice it up? Sterling wins this weekend, and he might find himself fighting for the title sometime soon.
Talk about spicing it up. I look at this and I think they're serving it up on a silver platter for Sterling. They're literally giving him the perfect matchup. The perfect matchup. I think he's going to take Calvin down and choke him out, if not the first round, early second round. Oh, it's going to be quick. This is going to be a quick fight. He's going to choke him out quick. I'm very serious about this.
You know why we should be more confident in our pick, Trey? Drew says Kattar by KO, and he says, "I mean that." This is Drew. This is a Johnny Walker fanboy. This is the man that picked Benoit versus Dustin. I mean, the list goes on.
Whoa. Benoit, dude, you got to stop that. Benoit had staph. Do you understand that? Did you see the boil on his? He had a hole in his head, Miller. He had a hole in his head.
The shower after he trains.
Stop. And he was still giving Dustin a run for his money. Go watch the first round again.
Dustin was never in trouble. Dustin was never in trouble.
Dustin got a little wobbled in the first round. I'll say that.
Dustin was never in trouble. Now he shouldn't have pulled the ghillie like about 7 times. I'll give you that. But just join Discord join Discord, Drew, when you can, and we'll be adding people in a second. We're just getting through the early prelims as quickly as possible. And we could always circle back. Sterling, he wins. How many fights before the title? Does he have a legit chance at 145?
Yeah. I mean, I guess. Anybody with that ground game, even though I can't stand him, he's such a cornball.
I don't understand.
Anybody with that ground game, I mean, that's scary, okay? Because there's not a lot of people that can do that. There's not a lot of people with great takedown defense. We have a lot of strikers in the UFC right now. So,
he's a
absolutely. But that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. The UFC is serving him up a silver platter for his first fight. This is the perfect matchup for him.
No, that's fair. Listen, we agree a lot on this card so far. Are you surprised a little bit?
Yeah, I guess you were tired of being dumb this whole year. 2024 has been a bad year for you. Finally, you're getting a little bit of common sense. You're starting to follow the source. Finally.
2024 hasn't been that bad for me. I don't know where people are. I don't know where people are getting this from. I mean, did I pick Cheeto to beat Sean O'Malley? Yes. Besides that, it's been pretty good. It hasn't. Didn't you pick Volkanovski to beat Topuria?
No.
Just no. I'm pretty sure you did. But anyways, going back, we're touching one more fight before the main event. Jiri Prochazka, Alexander Rakic. This might have title implications written all over it. I like Yuri. What do you got?
I like Yuri. This is the baddest man that
This guy just
Rakic
wants
has
to agree
ever
with me.
stepped. This is the baddest man that Rakic has ever stepped in the octagon with. Now I get it. Okay, I say it all the time. Yuri holds his chin out worse than Patty Pimblett. Okay, and I called that.
That's saying a lot.
I called that. I called that. Sure enough, he goes in and fights. What happens? He loses. Okay. I mean, that's why I'm the source. That's why I actually call these fights and know what I'm talking about. Unlike this guy over here who gets maybe 1-2 fights right every month and claims it for the rest of the year, and we'll talk about other fights. But okay, it is what it is. Rakic, I'm sorry, pal. He's a dog. He's good. Okay, he's a dog. He's got the leg kicks. But it just ain't happening with Yuri. It's not happening. Yuri's a different level. Yuri's on his way back to the championship path, and I think he takes care of him pretty easy.
I think people don't realize too. Yuri was touching up Pereira before he got knocked out. I don't know if you remember. He was landing some shots that I don't know if Rakic takes them. And I don't know if Rakic could keep him off the way Pereira did. Pereira landed a big left hook, and then it was a beginning of the end. But again, Yuri was doing okay. And if Yuri wins, I think they're going to want to spice up the fight that was supposed to happen with Jamal Hill and Yuri. And of course, we know Jamal Hill's winning. We'll get to that in a little bit. But with all that being said, I think Yuri is a little bit too much for Rakic. So I agree with you as well. We are finally in the main event. So let's drag our first caller as we work through the main event.
Baby.
And the first caller that we have, let's see if he's ready. Chris Faith 9000, aka the encyclopedia, aka the historian, aka the people's champ.
Yo, hey Trey, I'm not gonna lie. I remember like this, and I'm not trying to make fun of you. I remember last week I saw the video between you and DC talking about. I forgot what you guys were talking about. I saw you had the 1764 hat. I'm not gonna lie. You should have it like in platinum gold. Not trying to make fun of you, but you should have it in platinum gold. Even though you could keep the 1764, which I don't know what happened in that year.
Why gold?
Are you roasting me right now, or are you trying to tell me that to make it look?
Because honestly, look, you look good with the hat. Look, I'm not trying to be sarcastic and shit. You look good in the hat, but it should be pure gold. But the 1764 number in black.
Okay.
Listen. What about this? How am I doing with this? Am I doing good here or no?
The leaves should be gold.
Okay, we're going gold. I like that.
Yeah.
It's only because I'm royalty and I choose every fight correctly, Miller. You can never do that.
All right, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm not changing no cars because I know like DC is still going on the hill. I'm like, bro, just go with Alex Pereira.
Literally, tell him.
Yeah, I'm not changing with Alex Pereira. Look, Alex Pereira. Well, the thing I respect about Hill, he did defeated 3 Brazilian fighters. I'll tell you the names: Thiago Santos,
my guy right here, man. This is a historian.
Walker, and Glover Teixeira.
Hold on, Chris. Can you say that second name one more time, please? Just one more time.
Johnny Walker.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That bum.
I just wanted Drew to hear it. I just wanted Drew to hear that one more time. Sorry.
Honestly, I'm not a fan of Johnny Walker because that guy fucking sucks.
That guy sucks. Chris, what do people see in this guy? He's a cornball.
What does Drew see in him?
This guy I remember a long time ago, he said, "Oh, I'm going to be the next John Jones." I laughed. I was like, "Oh, okay, the next John Jones. Let me see." He got knocked out by Corey Anderson, who's now the Bellator light heavyweight champion. I'm like, bro, literally. You got knocked out by a nobody who's now a champion in Bellator.
That's damn Chris spitting facts today.
Chris, they don't want to hear that though. They ain't ready for that truth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They can't handle that.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Like, if Alex Pereira wins, I would like him to call out, even though he's gonna call out like Magomed, I would like to call out Corey Anderson. He'll be like, "Hey, Corey, I'm the better champion."
That'll be interesting. Now, talk to me about a couple other fights in the UFC main event for UFC 300. Is there anybody that sticks out? Who do you think is gonna have performance of the night?
I think who's gonna have performance of the night is gonna be that third fight, aka Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway.
Okay.
But I'm not look, I'm not doubting Justin Gaethje. I'm going for him by unanimous decision. He might try to knock out Holloway, but trust me, he hits like a fucking truck, like Dana White said a long time ago.
And nobody has knocked out Holloway, so if he's able to do that, that's going to be impressive. That might win him performance of the night. You don't give Oliveira a chance to have performance of the night?
Look, I respect Oliveira, and my message to you, Drew, whether you hear me or not, listen, your boy is not gonna win. You could bet $100,000 on that guy. I don't care. You could bet on him, but trust me, Arman Tsarukyan is gonna shock the whole world. He's gonna make all of you Oliveira fans piss on the damn floor.
That's right, all over it in your own house.
And he's gonna make them shit in their pants. For example, like Negan from The Walking Dead says, I hope you have your shitting pants on because you are about to shit on your pants.
I don't listen. Who has Arman beaten that's as good as Oliveira, or that gives you that much confidence? Like, what is it about Arman that gives you the confidence that you have in him, Chris?
Look, I remember the thing I liked about Arman, and this goes back 2 years ago when he fought against Mateus Gamrot. I was going for him. Even though that fight, I guarantee that fight was rigged because the judges let Gamrot go. I'm like, bro, Gamrot didn't do that much. It was Arman. He fought like a warrior. He fought like a freaking warrior. And you let the Polish guy, and guess what? That Polish guy couldn't beat Dariush, but look what Arman Tsarukyan did to Dariush. He did what Charles Oliveira should have done. Look, Charles Oliveira, when he beat Dariush, he only it was 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yep. That
was Oliveira. But look at Tsarukyan. 1 minute and 4 seconds. 1 minute and 4 seconds.
You can argue that that Oliveira kind of prepped him for Arman Tsarukyan, where Dariush Chin was already compromised. Maybe no.
What was when is his last dominant win? I don't understand that. When is the last time he's had a dominant win? He gets knocked down in every single fight he is in. And you want to talk about him like he's just dominating these dudes.
And then he rallies back.
Every dude that you named has not got on top of them when they knocked him down. The first person that gets on top of them when they knock them down, what happens? He quits. He's a quitter. He's been exposed, Miller. He's been exposed. He's been exposed. What's happening here? Because wasn't just a week ago this U-turn, this flip-flop, this pancake? Was he not screaming Arman and arguing for Arman? And now he's arguing for Charles? This makes me sick. This makes me sick.
It makes me sick as well.
I got in the lab. I got back at my work desk and I had to watch a couple fights. Listen, Oliveira looked massive next to Beneil Dariush. Arman looked a little small. Granted, he still got the knockout. I think Oliveira's going to walk in there. I think he's going to look like the bigger man. I think he's going to fight like the bigger man. I think he's going to walk Arman down. That jab that Arman was working against Dariush, not going to work against Oliveira. Oliveira's going to have the height, the reach advantage, has the nasty kicks. He's going to go in there confident.
I don't care if Oliveira comes in over 9,000 like Vegeta, but trust me, that's not going to work on Arman Tsarukyan.
What is he talking
about? That's not going to work on Arman Tsarukyan. I don't care if you're Vegeta. I don't care if you're Goku, and I do not give a shit if you're Lord Beerus. But guess what? Arman Tsarukyan doesn't fear those motherfuckers.
First of all, saying he's going to come in there different and he starts slow. We all know that. Charles always starts slow. Okay.
I don't know about that. I mean,
acting like he has hands and starts piecing people up and going to come in there and just start popping Arman is hilarious.
Took Chandler out in the second, Poirier in the third, Gaethje in the first.
They all gassed out.
Beneil in the first. I mean,
they all gassed out. Beneil, stop. Don't say that name anymore.
Oliveira's like the Brazilian Rocky. I mean, his career
you know what
has just been incredible.
I do not understand. This goes back 3 years ago when Oliveira became champion. I want to know why in God's name did they put Michael Chandler? Oh, because he had that one win over Dan Hooker, someone who never became champion. But no, his partners Adesanya and Volkanovski became champion minus Hooker. Hooker will never become champion. And I know he's going to be there like this Saturday, like watch. I'm like, bro, you ain't going to become champion. Not in 10 or 20 years from now.
Ever. Maybe in the PFL.
Exactly, or Bellator.
Hey Chris, we got another caller, so feel free to jump back in. Okay, I'm gonna add the next caller.
Yeah, no problem.
My God, man, Chris Faith, the historian, the encyclopedia, the people's champ. We have another caller. Some call him Johnny Walker. I call him Drewski Blanco. What's up?
Meek Miller. How you doing?
I'm doing
Meek
quite.
Miller.
I'm doing good. Once you ever been blind to something, then you realize like, hey, I was wrong all along, and you feel good about it. That's how I feel right now after thinking about Oliveira. What's up, man?
I don't know why. That's crazy.
Listen to me right now. I don't think I've disagreed with Miller more in a card than I have this one.
Really?
I think we disagree on literally every fight on the whole card.
No way.
I think so.
That means you disagree with Trey too, because me and Trey agree on almost every fight.
I think let's take it back. We don't have to talk about this for a long period, but I take it back. I think Cody Garbrandt's knocking out Figueiredo.
Yeah, that makes me feel more confident. Yep.
That's my underdog pick of the night right there.
That's a horrible underdog pick of the night.
And let's skip forward to the main card a little bit. Y'all just brimmed over this. Max Holloway. Everybody's just counting this boy out. Like they think Justin Gaethje is a world beater, and he's just gonna go in there and run through somebody who's literally never been knocked out, not one time in his whole career. He's never even been knocked down. Y'all know that, right?
Drew, you know he's going up a division, right?
Yeah, and you know, this is the best boxer Gaethje's ever fought. You know that, right?
Okay, and this is the heaviest hands that Max Holloway has ever fought.
Poirier?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Thank you for answering your own question.
Yeah,
Poirier, he fought for
Poirier.
Zeev. He fought for Zeev as well too.
Zeev's just a good striker. I'm talking about hands, boxer.
Yeah, he's about to fight the heaviest hands he's ever fought.
Yeah, and Max. Have you seen Max lately? It looks kind of big.
I don't care what he looks like. Max does this to the people every single time he comes in. He talks about how great it's been going, how everything's been going for him. His life's so good right now. I'm so happy. I'm in a good place. Nobody cares about that. He goes in and loses every time he does this. Please stop falling for this.
Remember,
I'm falling for it. Hard.
Drew, I like that you brought up that Max has never been knocked out before, never even been knocked down. Good example. You know who that reminds me of? Remember Tony Ferguson before he fought Justin Gaethje?
Oh my God.
Do you remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Didn't Justin Gaethje change that man physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe even nationally? He went from being a California Mexican, now he's just American.
We're talking about the greatest featherweight champion of all time compared to somebody who never sniffed a belt.
He's gotten pretty close.
Well, maybe Volk is. Maybe Volk is.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'll
He
take that.
carried the UFC for 3 years on his back.
Okay, let's say one of the greatest featherweight champions of all time. Put it that way.
I'll give him second, maybe.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's different levels between him and Tony Ferguson. That's an unfair comparison.
I'm just saying Tony Ferguson was never knocked out or hurt until he fought Gaethje. After that, he was never the same. I truly believe this is going to be the same situation, but this time for Max Holloway.
I think Max is going to shock a lot of people.
There's an expiration date on every
Max
chin.
is going to get knocked out. I'm telling y'all right now.
I'm going knockout too.
I'm saying we've seen Gaethje get knocked out before. We've never seen Max get knocked out.
Max ain't knocking out Gaethje.
When was the last time Holloway got a knockout?
His last fight. Didn't he fight Korean Zombie?
Before that one, I'm sorry. But before that one. Before Chan Sung Young, when was his last knockout?
I can't tell you at the top of my head. I'd have to look at the.
Yeah, because I looked it up. I looked it up earlier today. Let me see but I don't remember offhand. But I know it was a long time ago. Let me quickly scroll. His last knockout win, Brian Ortega, Dr. Stoppage, 2018.
That's not a knockout though.
That is
a knockout. That's a knockout.
That's a cut.
Right. That's not necessarily a knockout.
He was teaching Brian Ortega how to fight in that fight. He was telling him, "Yo, put your hands here."
He was piecing
I do remember
him up.
that. I do remember that.
Oh my god! Like,
he was piecing him up, but that was the last time against Ortega.
Brian Ortega don't have no hands, though.
And that's Ortega. We're talking about Gaethje, one of the most vicious strikers in the UFC right now. You got to put him up there with I guess the rest. Yeah. And Holloway, you think Holloway has pillow hands at 145? What makes you think he's going to do it at 155?
I think his pillow hands are starting to go. I think he's starting to get some power in them hands because he
works that way.
Yeah, that old age, man, it's starting to get him.
Flatlined Korean Zombie. Like, that was bad. Like, that was.
Is Korean Zombie as nice as everybody thought he was, though?
He's
getting up
tough.
in age.
He's hard to finish. He's tough.
I guess.
And Max went out there, and I mean, I'm not gonna say Korean Zombie's the greatest win. I'm just saying I like what I saw at a match.
Who absolutely
ragdogged Korean Zombie? Maybe 2 fights ago.
I don't know. I can't. I know not Brian Ortega, but I know Yair knocked him out with the craziest elbow I've ever seen.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Like the spinning elbow.
That might be what I'm talking about.
Last second too. That was one of the craziest knockouts ever.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes. This is what everybody's been waiting for. I mean, let's talk about Arman and Oliveira. That's the one you want to talk about. That's the one I want to hear about. You talk to me about this one. Tell me why Oliveira is going to win.
It's gonna, cause this is why. First of all, Oliveira's not gonna win.
Oh my
Arman is gonna win, and let me tell you exactly why.
I can't wait to be right about this one.
It's very, very similar to the Islam fight in the way that Arman fights and Islam fights. They fight very similar, and it's gonna go exactly like that. He's gonna rock. He's gonna maybe not drop him. He's gonna rock Charles. And Charles is going to pull guard and fall like he always does. And Arman's not going to be scared to go down with him. He's going to jump right on top of him and submit him. It's going to be the exact same thing that happened in the Islam fight.
Charles is a quitter. He quits quickly. Okay?
Well, he does. I don't think he quits. He tries to bait people, though, into going on the ground with them. And most people just let him stand back up and let him get his reins back and recover. But you saw Islam. Then Islam dropped him, got right on top of him, finished him easy. I mean, he tapped before the choke was even in.
Yeah, it wasn't even squeezed yet.
The choke wasn't
he's
even
a quitter.
He tapped.
He's a quitter.
Yeah,
Miller,
we
Miller,
can't say
answer
he's
this.
not kind of a quitter because he is
Miller,
kind of a
answer
quitter.
this one question for me. Who has heavier hands, Arman or Islam?
Islam.
Ooh, that's close,
Islam,
right?
Islam.
That's not crazy to say, but
That is crazy to say.
When was Arman's last knockout win? When was Arman's last knockout win?
Hands aren't that heavy. He has
a ground and pound knockout
great
win
contact.
recently, I think, too.
What do you mean?
Arman?
I think he ground and pounded somebody like a couple fights ago. And knocked him
Arman's
out.
last knockout win was against Joaquim Silva. 2023. And that was like the end of the third round. Oh, and then he did beat Beneil Dariush, but that was after Oliveira.
Bad.
Before that, then he has a ground and pound against Joel Alvarez. So he
Wait.
hold
on now. Hold on. Don't get carried away, Miller. Hold on. Is Trey right once again? Is the source right once again? Of course he is.
Unanimous decision win against Frivola. Decision win against Davi Ramos. You should have finished him. Mercier, unanimous decision. So he's had some wins that were, I guess, that go to the distance. Oliveira finishes all those guys. We're talking about Oliveira that finished Gaethje, Poirier, Beneil.
We're talking about Oliveira that got knocked down by all of them.
There's levels.
He got knocked down by all of them, and they were all too scared to go on the ground with him, so they let him get back up, and then he
That's what I'm saying. What happened when the first person that jumped on him after he knocked him down? What happened?
He
got finished in 10 seconds.
He had a bad weight cut.
Yeah.
They were doing him dirty with the scales. He said it wasn't him in there, and I get it. Just like it wasn't Derrick Lewis in like the last 7 fights. Same thing. This guy has beaten some great names: Ferguson, Chandler, Poirier, Gaethje, Dariush. Arman hasn't beaten these names.
You're not somebody until you beat somebody. This is what's going to put Arman in that top 3. He's got to beat the man.
I heard you guys say that about, this is what's going to put Benoit over the edge.
Miller, say it again.
And when he fights a veteran like Dustin Poirier
on his forehead,
he gets slept.
Miller, please. I can't wait till one of my fighters fights somebody who has a broken leg or something. I'm going to go,
Listen,
for them winning.
I'm sick of y'all disrespecting me with all these underdog picks too. I had the best record on 299, and the only fight I lost was because of the staff shit.
I
The
think I
staff
only
is
lost
like-
one.
That's not why you. It's sad that you believe that.
I
Poirier was
would
gonna
have
win.
clean
Poirier-
swept the card,
Poirier
and
was
if it
gonna win
wasn't for
regardless.
staff.
Poirier was going to win regardless. There's levels. And listen, I hope Armin doesn't get staff today or tomorrow. So then there's no excuse, because when Oliveira beats him, I'm going to say the same thing I'm saying now. There's levels to this. There's levels to this. He hasn't. Again, when he fought someone maybe that level, Islam Makhachev, he lost. When he fought Gamrot, he lost. Close, but he
Look
lost.
this way. Let's just look at the only common opponent, Islam. In what's his name's debut, in Arman's debut, he took Islam to a decision.
Islam wasn't the same either at that time.
But
That was a long
still,
time ago.
He
That was like what?
decision.
That was what?
A
2000.
close decision too.
That was a long time ago.
I mean, it's still Islam.
That was
It's still
2019. Yeah, but he's Super Saiyan mode right now, I guess you could say, after what he did to Volkanovski.
He's better
and-
now, but so is Armin.
Armin.
And
Yeah,
listen,
so is Armin.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Armin is better now, but we're talking about Oliveira, a former champ. And again,
He's
the
on the decline.
resume.
That's what you're saying.
Why was he on a decline? Did you see what he did to Benil? He prepped him for Armin.
Miller.
He seasoned him for Armin.
Benil is some straight up booty cheeks.
Stop.
Don't say his name again. He needs to leave the UFC. That's one of the biggest bums in the UFC. Stop saying that cornball's name. He has the worst podcast on YouTube. I don't care about that bum.
The UFC did him dirty because he should have got a title shot a long time ago, and they did
He
him
wouldn't
dirty
have won
because
it.
they put
He
him
wouldn't
there.
have won.
They put him. I think he would have done all right against Islam. They put him in there against
Do you
Oliveira.
Get out here.
They put him in there against.
Okay, against Islam.
Listen, Oliveira has had.
Oh my!
He's been on a tear, The only loss was
can't.
against Islam, and he wasn't
I can't,
himself.
bro.
He
Well,
just had
well,
eyes.
okay, let's-
I can't.
Okay. Oh my god.
I can't. This dude's about to break me for real. I can't.
Nah.
Miller. This is Miller.
What am I saying? That's wrong.
My gosh.
What am I? You know, Poirier is gonna be Islam, right? You know that might be announced soon, right? I'm throwing that out there.
That's gonna be worse than how he
You
did.
know what I've noticed, you guys. You know what I've noticed? This is what's wrong with today's generation. You guys are against the veterans. You see what's new, and you jump on the bandwagon, and you
No.
don't respect the veterans like Poirier, like Oliveira, and
A
company.
veteran like Calvin Cater,
Oh my god.
Sterling is a former champ.
who
He's not-
I think is gonna
Yeah,
sleep out.
look at the veterans that Drew picks. Calvin Cater and Johnny Walker. That should tell you. That should tell you it all.
Whoa.
That should tell you it
Whoa.
all.
Johnny Walker is 30 years old.
Yeah, old 30.
That's
He's
not a veteran. That's a
he's
young
Old
lion.
30.
He's a
That's
bum.
a young killer.
His chin is 39 though. It's over for him.
All right, so let me ask you, who wins, him or Volkan Oezdemir? Be real. Don't fight it.
That
Don't
doesn't
fight it.
that doesn't mean much.
I mean, you know Johnny Walker's like 7th in light heavyweight. That put him right back in top 5.
The bum, man.
All right,
he's-
listen, we're not talking about this bum right
Yeah,
now.
listen,
I'm not doing it.
Listen,
I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Johnny's brother embarrassed him again this week. I mean, it's just on there. That whole family is just pitiful over there.
we got a couple messages. He just KO'd Benil, says Plugs. Talking about another man's ground and pound is crazy, says Beta. Trey losing brain cells and he doesn't have much left. Beta says, watching Oliveira cry before murdering Dariush made me more confident for Du Bronx. That's what I'm, listen. I can't, I have never, I feel like a kid just, tomorrow they're going to take me to Six Flags and I just can't go to sleep because
I'm so excited.
I'm very confident in Oliveira right now. Just like, remember the same thing with Poirier and Benoit? I feel the same way. And boy,
has
was
been-
I right.
I will say this.
Only
Arman and Charles has potential to be a stinker. High
What?
potential.
Horrible take.
Arman could just wrestle him and stay on top of it and just smother him the whole time. Yeah, he might just wrestle him and control him the whole time.
ground and pound up against the cage.
Not that this is saying much, but this is one of your worst takes of all time.
Okay.
There's no way this fight will, I guarantee it being entertaining. What might be a stinker.
If you like wrestling, it could be entertaining.
Listen, Armin is not Islam Makhachev. He's not gonna hold him down there.
He's the second best wrestler in lightweight besides Islam. I really think that. Islam's definitely number one, and then it's him.
There's Gamrot that's up there, but
he out wrestled Gamrot and won the fight.
He lost a unanimous decision according to the scorecards.
Oh my God.
So we do have another caller, Drew. Feel free to jump back in because then I gotta educate you.
Okay,
on
one more thing before I go.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing before I go.
What's up?
We have 20 on the Jamal Hill Pierre fight, right?
Yes.
I'll take 20 on I'll take 20 on Cody Garbrandt.
There's no way.
Oh my God!
With both of y'all,
take that, you bum. Why would you not take that?
With both of y'all, if you want it, lock it in right now.
Wow,
I'm doing y'all a favor. I'm doing y'all a favor. This is for the stream because I could just take it to a book and get better for my money, but I want to take y'all's money. That's way more satisfying.
Thank you for the donation. I appreciate the money. It'll go a long way for me.
Who hurt you? You're down bad, man. To pick Cody
all I'm
over Figgy?
Cody's been looking good his last couple fights. He has been knocked out in like 4 years, like you said earlier. He's been fighting smarter. I just don't know. I don't know if Figgy might get caught.
Miller, I wasn't gonna say this. I'm gonna say it. Drew's been very jealous. He hasn't been getting on any reels. He's trying to have a controversial. He's trying to have a controversial take. He's trying to have a controversial take. So you'll post him and hopefully you get lucky and people like him. I didn't want to say it, but I'm just gonna. I had to say it. It's going too far.
You can keep me off the reel forever. I just want to. If you're gonna put me on the reel, put me on the one on the following Monday. That's like Drew. I hate to say it, but you were right.
Listen, Drew.
That's the reel I want to be on.
Drew has one of the most infamous ones, calling Sean O'Malley versus
No.
It was Islam and Charles.
Islam against Charles.
Yep.
That's the craziest call in UFC history.
That was your infamous take right there. I'll give you that. But then you became a Johnny Walker fan and a Cody Garbrandt fan, and you just lost it.
He's been a Johnny Walker fan.
I've been a Johnny Walker fan since his first fight.
Yeah, that's not going to be.
Johnny, listen, Miller, it's bad. Johnny wasn't even fighting, and Drew was coming up to me being like, "Look at this guy! Look at this guy!" Like, it was weird, bro. It was weird.
We're gonna see. Time will tell. Let y'all boys call in whoever it is.
Yep. Feel free to jump back in.
Meet Miller, I love you.
Love you too. My guy, freaking Drewski Blanco. He's hilarious, bro. We have Joe on the call, who has been. This is Instagram Real Joe. The guy has been taking over the platform in a sense. I got to give him credit where he's due.
This guy has a huge head right now. This guy has a huge head right now.
Can I just say something?
He's struggling with being famous. He doesn't know how to deal with the comments. I had to give him a little bit of advice. Trey, it was getting to him.
Can I say something, yo?
What's up, Joe?
That's why you called. I mean,
First of all, I want to say that I appreciate Trey and Miller, both of y'all. Miller, I want to appreciate you for keeping it real today and going back to the lab, right?
Let's talk about it, yes, sir.
And going back to the lab, right? And humbling yourself.
Yep.
You know what the Bible says about when you humble yourself, right?
Yep. Be exalted.
When you humble, that's correct. That's correct, Miller. When you humble yourself, you will be exalted. When you humble yourself. Now, for people like Trey, that macaroni and cheese mic that he's got. For people like Trey who yell and scream in the mic,
right?
Those people get embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say, Trey, can you look up when I'm talking to you, please?
Don't talk to me like that.
Can you please keep a straight face, please, when I'm talking to you? It's serious.
Don't talk to me like that, Joe. You wanna know what? Hey, congratulations. Okay, you got 30 likes on 2 reels. I could care less what you're talking about here. Okay.
Are you done?
Mac and cheese was hilarious.
All right, here we go. We got a new Chris Faith here. Go ahead, guy.
Hey, don't be talking about Chris Faith like that.
No, I'm just saying. Chris got famous by beefing with me. Now everybody likes him, of course.
Hey, well, no
I
one's
blow
beefing
people
with
up.
you.
Now you're trying to beef with me. You want to get blown up? Go ahead. Look. I'm even pointing my mic towards you. Go ahead.
Yeah, get that crap out of my face. Listen, what I'm trying to tell you is that Miller did his homework.
he's not switching his pick. He's not being a pancake.
Oh, he's switching. Oh, he's a
No,
pancake.
Miller-
he's a U-turn.
no.
He's a flip-flop. He's every bit of
Miller's-
it. He's every bit of it. Yes, he is.
Miller is switching his pick because he's not an idiot, and he's not stupid. Trey, let me explain it to you like this: if someone comes up to you with 2 boxes, right, and one box has $1 million, and the other box has $5 in it, and you're able to see beforehand which box has the $5 and which box has the $1 million, are you saying that it's stupid for Miller to do his research and pick the $1 million box? Is that what you're saying?
It's a great example.
I think it's stupid for y'all to say, I know there's $5 in this box, but it's worth $1 million. That's what y'all are saying right now. That's what y'all are doing with your
funny,
dumb
Trey?
little analogy. I'll use your
You
same
know
dumb
what's
little
funny, Trey?
analogy.
That's good, Trey. I like that. That's really good. I wrote down some notes while Trey was talking. This is really something.
Wrote down some-
This is really something.
You're finally learning. This is
Yeah,
great.
bro. Yeah,
Everybody should be taking notes from you. This is incredible.
Yeah. Right. Let me read this quote from Trey Melton. This is earlier in today's stream. This is about 30 minutes ago. Okay. Trey,
I'm listening.
keep a straight face, please.
Okay.
These are your words. Let's be serious for a second, okay? All right. Trey says, and I quote, "I'm so sick of y'all hyping these dudes with 4-fight win streaks against nobodies, and then they fight someone real and lose, and y'all make excuses saying, yeah, they should have lost to them, blah, blah, blah." Huh. Let's go to Arman Saryukian's record. Hold on a second. He's on a 3-fight win streak right now. Let's look at who Arman Saryukian has beat. Okay. Arman Saryukian's first win in the UFC. Olivier Aubin, I can't even say his name. That's his first win. His second win, Davy Ramos. Who's that? Third win, Matt Favola. Good, decent win, mediocre at best.
Yep.
His fourth win, Christos Giagos. Charles killed him already. So, his fifth win.
We'll squash that one then. We'll squash that one.
His fifth win, Joel Alvarez. Sounds like a musician in a band. Okay, let's go to the next one. Damir Ismagulov. Who is that? Let's look at this one. Joaquim Silva. Joaquim Silva almost knocked him clean out.
Heard him.
And then let's go to his last win. And his last one, and I quote, this is another Trey quote. Beneil is straight up booty cheeks.
Yep.
Okay, so
but
Arman's last win is against straight up booty cheeks. And his record, and he hasn't beaten anyone nice in the UFC. And Charles is going to be the toughest fighter he's fought in his career so far, besides his first fight, Islam.
A declining Charles, interesting.
So your argument is Charles is declining.
So of course, Charles.
What makes you say that?
And then I will also, and because he's been knocked down in the past 5 fights he has been in, and the first person that finally jumped on him and grew some balls choked him out in 10 seconds when he did it. Now I'll say this, because you want to get cute on me. Your little fanboy over here, your little boyfriend over here, thinks Beneil Dariush is a solid name and somebody special and wants to name drop him every episode. So go ahead and mark that down as an incredible win, because he absolutely dogged him and made Beneil look like an absolute clown.
After Oliver seasoned him. After.
That's a good point, Trey. Okay.
When is Charles' last impressive win where he didn't get knocked down and embarrassed?
That's a good point, Trey. Embarrassed.
Win?
Ready for this one? Charles is declining. ? He got beat by the best guy in the division. Where's the decline? He lost to the champion.
He didn't just get beat. He got absolutely dogged by him. Not to mention he's been knocked down in the past 5 fights before that.
This is absolutely hilarious.
Doesn't matter if you win.
Charles has beaten
nobody would
Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier,
These are
Justin
names.
Gaethje.
Huge names.
Every single one of these dudes knocked him down, and if they had a pair between their legs and jumped on top of him, they all would have beat him too. Do
Okay,
you
all right,
understand
Trey.
that? Islam
Okay.
has just laid down the foundation and the groundwork. Once you get him down, get on top of him, he's gonna quit. He's gonna quit.
That's a disgusting.
Got
That's what he does.
you.
That's a disgusting take.
Hey, all right. It's the right take. It's disgusting because y'all are wrong. The truth hurts. I get it, okay? Sometimes you have to break it down and really look at it, okay?
Okay,
It is
okay,
what
Trey,
it is.
look,
Sometimes it's painful.
Okay, Trey. So who's Armin's best win?
Ooh, good question. Oh, let's hear this. Take your time.
Probably,
You know it's bad when you got to think about it. Probably.
no, it's probably okay.
It's not Benil. It's not Benil. He's straight up booty cheeks.
Probably.
It's not Benil. It's
probably Benil. It's probably
how is that
Oh,
possible?
what-
Wait, Trey, what? This makes no sense. Hold on a second.
I think Benil's booty cheeks. Nobody else agrees with me on that.
No, I agree with you. After
Really?
Charles
Because
beat him,
your boyfriend
No,
over here
yeah,
is defending it the whole time.
yeah. After Charles beat him, he became booty cheeks. That's correct.
Exactly. He was good.
So,
And
He was on a-
after it, and
was
after
in an 11
Islam,
fight win streak.
and after Islam beat Charles, he became booty cheeks. Even though he was on his way getting knocked
He-
down every
he
fight
knocked
before
out-
that.
Even though he knocked out Benil Dariush and he finished in the first round.
Cute.
Cute. Got you. Okay. So let's take away Benil Dariush. I'm not accepting that. I will not accept that from you. What's his
Okay.
best win besides Benil? He's booty cheeks, according to Trey. Joaquim Silva. Yeah.
Go ahead, Trey.
Who is Armin?
Oh, why is it taking you such a long time? Because if you asked me the same question about Oliveira, I could give you a whole historical lesson on how great his career is.
Yeah, also he's been champion before. Armin's on his way up, hasn't even had that many fights in the UFC. And I'm telling y'all right now, please, I pray on everything. Miller, you better not run. You better clip
Never
this
have.
when this
Never have.
happens on Saturday. And you better post you two clowns looking absolutely stupid on here trying to flame me when Armin absolutely flatlines. Absolutely flatlines. He will knock him cold when he gets in the octagon with Charles
You don't
Oliveira.
believe that.
Mark my words.
Real
I
quick.
believe it. Mark my words. It's happening.
Real quick.
do not believe
real
that.
quick.
Hope Armand.
that-
I hope Armand knocks him down and tells him to stand back up. I
That-
hope he tells him to stand back up. I want to see him be unconscious in the octagon.
That sounds great. I'm sorry, I couldn't help but realize. Did we ever get an answer to our question?
I'm not going for y'all's little bullcrap.
No,
I'm
Miller,
not answering
we
those
haven't.
questions
Like,
because y'all
I
talking
don't know.
stupid. I ain't doing it.
I
you
don't
want to know
know.
what his best win is? You want to know what his best win is? It's
This
gonna be
weekend.
Charles this
Yeah.
weekend. It's gonna be Charles. this
Didn't see that
weekend.
one coming. Didn't see that one coming a mile away. Oh, it's gonna be Charles.
Charles is going to be Charles is going to get knocked out. Listen, mark my words. Look at me in my face. Clip it. Do whatever you want. Tell your girlfriend about it. Charles is getting knocked out this weekend. You better believe it.
The last time you said you better believe it, it was about Hill losing to Glover, and you were off by miles.
Well, only difference is I got the young guy this time. I don't have the 45-year-old, so I'll
Miller,
be
let's
fine.
clip that. Miller, can we please clip that?
Oh, for sure. I could show it on screen on
Yes,
stream a little
please.
bit. That's fine.
No, I'm talking about what Trey just said.
Oh, that's fine because when
Yeah,
when
please
it, when
clip
it
that.
plays out bad, it's just sad that we asked him what was Armin's best win besides Benil, and the man was flustered. He couldn't answer
That's
the
what I'm saying.
question.
Y'all are on here trying to pump me, trying to talk crazy, and I ain't going for it. I'm telling y'all right now, his best win is going to be this weekend. He's going to knock out Charles Oliveira. He's going to
be-
knock him out.
It's gonna be just like
Got it.
Benoit and Dustin Poirier, where we thought this guy coming up is gonna be good enough to hang with the upper echelon. Then he fights a veteran, and he just freezes under the lights. It's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna remind me of Cerrone against McGregor, Benoit against Dustin Poirier, Armin versus Charles Oliveira. Oliveira is that dude. The champ has a name.
Y'all notice how Trey?
Is Islam. You got a
For now.
religion too, apparently.
Y'all notice how close Trey gets to that yellow mic, that mac and cheese mic that he's got?
Legend goes, he takes a bite out of it sometimes. Listen, we have Hito609 waiting. Let me add him to the call. We'll add you back, Joe, if you want to jump back in.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro. Hito609. Welcome.
Hey, did you guys get to hear Miller's new nickname?
What is it?
We're calling him IHOP now.
IHOP.
This guy's a
Is that
pancake,
because-
man.
Oh yeah, he is a pancake flip flop U-turn. Yeah, I agree. You know how funny is that? I do like IHOP actually.
You know what? You know what's also funny about Miller and his revelation? I actually watched the fight with him. The first 10 seconds of that fight, he said Charles Oliveira is a bum. He's gonna lose. Then another 15 seconds goes by, and he's like, "Oh, he's pretty entertaining. He's entertaining." Then like 45 seconds afterwards, "Oh no, Charles is gonna win. Charles is gonna win." This guy's terrible. You can't even watch a whole round without making up your mind.
Yep.
I was frustrated with Oliveira because I get frustrated when someone wastes their talent. He could have got Benio out of there sooner, but he made, mistakes, mental mistakes. But if he fixes all of that, again, Oliveira on his best night, if he's on, nobody's beating him. Feel strongly about that. Nobody.
I think
What is that stupid? That's the dumbest state. You can say that about any fighter, Miller.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't.
On his best night, he can beat anyone.
That's
What
not
does
true.
that even mean?
That's not true. You're not saying that confidently about 95% of other fighters. Now, when it comes,
Miller, it has no weight. It means absolutely nothing. Like, I can say that about Paddy Pimblett on his best night can beat any fighter.
no, Paddy Pimblett
What does
on his
that
best
mean?
night- Paddy Pimblett on his best night can't even beat someone in the top 10. So that's
Well, he
a
hasn't
horrible.
lost yet.
That's a horrible. I mean, Jared Gordon.
I mean,
Jer-
he didn't
Jer-
lose.
Jer-
There's a
Jer-
W
Jer-
beside his
Jer-
name, is there not?
Oh, of course there is. But who really won that fight? We all know. The people that
Here
actually
goes you
watch
and
fights,
Joe again.
We really
Here
know.
goes you and Joe love playing. Well, I mean, but no, what happened? Oh, okay, but
Patty sucks. So that was a horrible example. Listen, Oliveira, as far as skill wise, it's like I hate to do this. Hear me out because I'm thinking out loud. Might be a little bit disgusting. Johnny Walker on his best night could almost beat anyone. The problem is the IQ is just not there. So he's not gonna have that many good nights. Oliveira, he only had one hiccup as of recent. That was against Islam Makhachev. That's it. Again, he beat Poirier, Chandler, Gaethje. Big names, huge names. Armin hasn't beat Ismagulov and Joaquim Silva, who he almost got knocked out by. I'm not saying he's not good, but he's not
so let me
Oliveira.
ask you: if Armin and Dustin were to fight this weekend, and they were the fight, you're telling me that Dustin would beat Armin?
I'm telling you, Dustin would beat Islam. So yes.
Wait, hold. You said Dustin will beat Islam?
Yes.
Stop. What did he show you that impressed you? He knocked out a guy that ran to him with his hands open. That's not talent. Anybody could have knocked that guy out. He had staff, whatever.
Oh,
but no matter
ironic.
what, he didn't do anything
Ironic.
impressive.
Anybody could have knocked him out when before the fight he was the boogeyman, the scariest guy in the division. Oh, watch out, Benoit is coming. And then when Poirier gets it done, now it's staff. Oh, he was tired. Poirier was
He
gonna win
had
that fight.
staff. It's clear as day. Are you denying he had staff?
Poirier was gonna win. I'm saying Poirier was gonna win regardless.
Okay, but Miller, what did Poirier show you talent-wise? It's like if you're playing football and the cornerback.
Daddy's one of the best boxers in the UFC. That's what he's showing me.
It's because the guy ran at him with his hands open. So it's like in football, like if a corner did it flat instead of staying man, and the guy runs a streak and there's nobody guarding him. Is that quarterback good because he made the Hail Mary touchdown? No, he got a free play. That guy got a free knockout.
Listen, it doesn't matter. Double coverage, it doesn't matter. Poirier's gonna make the throw.
But no, what I'm telling you is, you're saying it doesn't matter. What did he show you that was impressive? He got a free knockout. That's not that. What does that show you that he can beat Islam? You think Islam's gonna give him a free knockout, run at him with his hands open?
I think Poirier could stand in there in the southpaw stance and bang with him and hurt him and potentially knock him out.
But you're using this hype. You weren't talking about this before the fight.
My
And now
argument,
after the fight, the guy gets a free knockout, and you're talking about Dustin Poirier beating Islam. The math doesn't add up to me. It makes no sense.
My argument is I truly believe even if Benoit didn't have staff and he was 100%, Poirier in a 5-round fight was not losing to Benoit because he's hyped up. Now, am I saying Armin is hyped up? No. But he hasn't fought anyone like Oliveira. Can we agree that he hasn't fought anyone like Oliveira?
Yeah, he hasn't.
I agree to that.
Okay.
I agree to that. Of course.
All right. So we have some kind of middle ground. And all I'm saying is that He hasn't fought someone like Oliveira, and it's going to show this Saturday. Just like it showed for Benoit against Poirier. Benoit, even with staff, would beat almost anybody else. I would agree.
Your logic
but Poirier
makes
is a
no
different
sense.
animal. Poirier is a different
Miller, your
animal.
logic makes no sense because
Zero.
before the Benoit fight, you never mentioned Poirier beating Islam. Then he fights a guy with staff and runs at him with his hands open, gets knocked out, and all of a sudden he
Completely
can beat Islam.
gassed out.
The logic
Completely
doesn't-
gassed out.
That's incorrect. I even said myself before
How
he
it-
fight.
Did
before-
you watch
before-
the fight, Miller?
Before I said, arguing to what I said before, I said after Poirier knocks out Benoit, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the title shot next, and I wouldn't be mad at it because that's how I felt about Poirier prior to the Benoit fight. Poirier is pretty damn good. Why are we disrespecting Poirier? Like he's not a threat.
No, you're just talking about
Slurping.
Islam. What are you talking about?
You're saying he's gonna beat Islam. You're saying he's going to go in there and beat him.
He has a good chance. I would
In
bet on
what
that.
world?
Why
He
not?
got wobbled by a dude with staff.
Islam.
He was
just-
wobbled in the first round.
All right, let's talk about it. No, I'm excited to talk about this. How about Islam? Who has he beaten? A guy that's 145 pounds? What's his best win at lightweight?
He beat your
Oliveira,
Lord. He beat
that's
your
it.
Lord.
That's
Yeah,
it.
he beat your Lord, who
That's-
you're praising to be
that-
this absolute savior.
That's all he has on his resume. Besides that, who else? Besides that, who else?
Bruh.
Tell me.
Oh my God, bro.
Every time I ask you for names to prove what your argument, you
Miller,
can never
because
give me
you're
them.
talking stupid.
When you ask me
If
about
somebody-
Poirier, I give you names. When you ask me about Oliveira, I give you names. When I ask you about the fighters that you defend,
Miller.
you can never give me names.
Miller, because you ask dumb questions when it doesn't even. It's like
Bobby
so
Green?
far fetched.
Dan Hooker? Those are his best wins? He
They're
has-
better
Okay.
resume than-
He hasn't
They're
proven
better
himself
resume than
at
half the
lightweight.
people you're talking about.
Hey,
They're not better than Poirier. They're not
On
better
his
than
best-
Poirier.
Poirier also got
on
knocked
his-
out.
On
Here
his
we go,
best
here we go.
night, he could beat anyone.
Here we go.
Him at his best, he could beat anyone.
Here we go.
Who am I? On his best night, he could beat anyone.
that's what you be talking about. That's what you be doing.
It's just,
All right,
it's just
as far
fascinating
as-
to me.
As far as Oliveira and Sarukin, it's still on the fence. I think it's a lot closer than what people.
Ooh, okay,
Right.
let's talk about it.
Sarukin is nice. That knockout, we watched it.
Hold on.
Armin is nice because that knockout, that knee, you couldn't even see the punch. We had to slow it down. That knee to that combo he hit was crazy. But he is kind of like he leaves himself a little bit too open. He throws soft jabs, and that can lead. And Oliveira is really big in comparison to Armin. So it's like that's a closer fight than you guys are saying.
Pause.
Hold on.
And
Finally got you back, you bum. Finally got you back, you bum. Pause.
We'll have to
Joe-
clip
Joe-
that.
Joe took all the pauses today. I'm sorry. After what he said
ho-
earlier. Oh, you didn't catch that, Trey? He said, "I can't wait tonight." What did he say? He said,
He said something wild. I'll admit.
know.
But hold on a second.
had to hear it.
Let speaking of pausing, I have to interrupt just this one time. Hito's talking heavy. Hito, who are you picking to win between Oliveira and Saryukin?
I'm leaning towards Oliveira.
After all that,
But I think it's
after all, you hear this, Trey? Hold on, Trey.
No,
Can we have a second?
Vito, you
Wow,
you always ruin it. You
after-
ruin everything.
After that whole spiel, will
No,
you look
because-
at that?
no. Miller's logic is
Would
is
you look at
wild.
that?
Like you
This
literally
has
are
turned out to be
high.
the worst show. I was so hyped to do this show. This has turned out to be the worst show.
After all that, Trey, you didn't it, hear me out, Trey.
Trey,
Did it not
Oliveira-
sound like he was
Oliveira-
picking Saryukin, Trey?
You hate on him the whole time he's watching Charles. You talk about how he flip-flops every 3 seconds he's watching the fight. You slurp Armin for his knockout and everything. And at the very end of it, you tell me you're leaning towards Charles.
In this fight, yeah. Trey,
Interesting.
seriously, think about this.
Interesting. Let me
Oliveira's
sit back.
Oliveira's much bigger than him. Pause. He's much bigger than him.
Oh.
And I said pause. Armin's kind of like he throws a lot of soft jabs. He leaves himself open. He got a crazy knockout. He could potentially do that, but I think Oliveira, talent-wise, is better than Armin.
After
You think-
this is
you're
so
telling me-
interesting.
You're telling me Charles is a better striker than Armin?
Yes.
I think if Armin keeps leaving himself open like he did against Dariush, he's going to get hurt.
I'll give you.
You don't understand. You don't understand. You can leave yourself open against Dariush because he's an absolute bum.
And that's a good point. That's a good point. And I told that to Miller too. Also, you got to play to your competition. But if I'm just going off tape, that's kind of concerning.
This is the worst show of the year so far. I'm dealing with a bunch of idiots.
I just love how Hito was. He sounded like he was sold on Saryukin. But hold on, let me go back just a little bit. I'll give you guys this. Saryukin maybe all around. You could almost say maybe all around right now could be better than Oliveira, but in the fight game, again, Oliveira, when it comes to just striking, if he could keep it just striking, I truly do think Oliveira wins. I don't think now Arman is gonna have to use the wrestling. I'm not saying I'll be surprised if Arman wins. If he uses the wrestling, the grappling, the clinching, I could see him getting a win, maybe even a boring unanimous or a decision.
Hold on now. He's flipping back around.
But Oliveira, I think he's gonna be able to keep it striking, and I think he's far more dangerous than Arman in striking, and he's gonna get the job done.
I think for Arman to win, he's got to do it by KO.
Really?
And guess what, Hito? I'm so glad you said that because I've said it multiple times, and I'll say it one more time. Arman is going to go in the octagon this weekend, and he is going to flatline, knock out Charles Oliveira.
I think the fight is closer than both of you guys are projecting. So you like Miller's leaving very heavy on the left. You're very heavy on the right, probably politically too. And then
Miller's a big Biden fan.
Nice little job there.
Crazy. But
I've become more socialist as of recent. I'll be honest.
I think like if Arman gets the KO, I'm not going to be like, oh man, I didn't see this coming. Or if Oliveira gets the win, I'm not going to be like, I told you so. I think it's a lot closer than you guys are projecting. And Arman, and especially after what he did Dariush, that's a crazy knock. That combination was crazy. You had to slow-mo that combination.
That was a crazy combo. I'll give you that.
I always thought it was just the knee. I never saw the punch right afterwards, and that probably really what did him in.
That's fair. Listen, it's a close fight. It's just so I just love how Hito came around, and at the end of the day, he's picking Oliveira. Why are you picking Oliveira, Hito?
Because you're picking him. What do you mean?
That's your
freaking boyfriend.
I would never. I think it's more so like Oliveira has a little bit more experience, and he's a bigger guy. He's a bigger guy for that division.
I agree. He looks massive at lightweight. I'm not gonna lie. He looks massive at lightweight.
But look about this though. The other thing too is this might not be a bad thing for Oliveira to win because you can get potentially a McGregor Oliveira matchup, and I think that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely. The
a McGregor and Oliveira fight.
I would love that fight.
I'm gonna ask Trey. I didn't ask you. Shut up.
I think McGregor would absolutely knock out Charles Oliveira too.
I'm down to see.
He's got a glass chin. He's got a glass chin now. Let's talk about it. He's got one of the weakest chins in the UFC now. He does. He gets knocked down. I'm sorry. He does. If you land a hard jab or a cross, you're knocking him down.
He hasn't been knocked out cold. How does he have a glass chin? He gets wobbled. Who doesn't?
Miller, he gets knocked down on his back. On his back, he gets knocked down, not just wobbled.
He gets knocked down. For it too. That's a big jump for him. He's not bullying lightweights now.
Listen, we have another caller. Hito, thank you for calling in. Feel free to jump back in when we talk about Hill and Pereira. Drewski Blanco waiting on the line. Hito, you're welcome for the pick on Oliveira.
Shut up.
And
Miller, I'm sorry, I've never done this. I gotta go to the bathroom so bad right now. I'm just gonna step out real quick, and I'll be right back.
I'll carry the show.
No, Trey, I need you in here because I'm defending you.
Oh, well, I got the headphones on. I'll hear you.
Okay.
Let's talk
Miller.
about it. Yes, sir.
How do you flip flop on these takes? Like trying to get on Trey saying like who has Arman beat compared to like who has Charles beat? But didn't you pick Topuria? Who did Topuria beat? Aren't you picking Jamal Hill? Who did Jamal Hill beat?
Jamal Hill beat Glover, which I think was okay. Who did you pick to win that fight?
I don't even remember. I think I picked Jamal Hill. I don't remember though.
How convenient. Well, I'll tell you this. I remember Trey picking Glover and saying that Hill sucks, and then when he shocked the world, I couldn't find the guy.
Shock the world is crazy. He was probably a favorite going into that fight.
No, I'm pretty sure Glover was a favorite. We could look that up in a second.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about Ilia Topuria, there's a difference. There's
no difference. It's called the eye test. You look and say, oh, this dude's nice. I don't care who he's fought. It's the same thing with Armin. He's
The-
nice.
No, Ilya he passes the eye test. I'm not saying Armin doesn't pass the eye
Hold
test.
on. Ilya beat Bryce, and that's a huge deal. Okay, so
Oh
let's
my
just-
God.
I was just about to bring that up. That was submission and performance of the night. He beat Jai Herbert, performance of the night. He beat Josh
Jai
Emmett, fight of the
Herbert?
night. He beat
Josh
Volkanovski, performance of the night. The guy,
That's what
all
I'm
he does
saying.
is have performances
That's
of the
what I'm
night.
saying.
Miller's has a
Saryukin-
wide spectrum of who's a good fighter and who's a bum. He'll tell you Sean O'Malley is not a great fighter, and then name Josh Emmett for being a good one.
He picked Cheeto.
He picked Cheeto.
That's what I'm saying.
Cheeto beat him.
Cheeto.
Cheeto beat him before. Cheeto beat
He
him
loves
before.
bringing up the Benoit fight, but he hates mentioning Cheeto.
Bro.
Cheeto Moutinho.
Cheeto hurt him to the body at the end. I was a little upset that he
Oh,
didn't.
You know what it is, Miller?
do more.
Miller, I finally figured it out. Miller is wrong so much that he loves holding on to the fluke fights, just like he held on to Cheeto and Sean for so long on that fluke fight. He's doing it again.
Remember when you picked Colby to beat Leon and we couldn't find you?
But
That's
Miller,
never-
you just did it again.
never
You
happened.
said that. You just
Uh-huh.
did it again. So you said
Deflect,
Cheeto.
Miller, deflect.
No, Trey, he just did it again.
Uh-huh.
Miller, you said Cheeto hurt Sean at the very end of the fight. Who was winning the end of the fight in the Colby fight? In Leon.
Leon.
Oh.
No.
Leon.
Who was winning at the very
Interesting.
end?
What was
Like
Leon?
you just said.
What was Leon hurt?
He was getting his
He
shit
was
beat
getting-
in.
Yeah, he was getting
Stop.
dogged.
Stop.
He was
He
starting
was
to get
he was
dogged.
on he
Stop
was who
it.
ended the fight on
I'll
top.
pull a
These-
page out of
these-
Miller's book.
these
If you would have
examples
gave him 45 more seconds, Colby would have won that fight.
Yeah, see, Miller, you can't flip flop the reasons behind the takes like you're doing.
Do we agree that if you give 45 more seconds to Volkanovski against Islam in the first fight, that Islam would have lost?
No.
In the first fight? In the first fight?
No,
Absolutely.
no, he could have hung
Absolutely.
on 45 seconds.
Wow, Drew, stop it.
He could have held
See,
on. He could have held on.
Beast.
It's a case by case basis, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying that Armin doesn't have a chance to win. So I don't want to be like misunderstood. I'm
Of
not
course
saying
you're not
that.
saying that. Because
Just
just last week you were saying he was going to win.
So Miller,
last week.
which one are you more confident in, Jamal Hill or Oliveira?
That's a
He's
good.
not
that's
confident
a-
in Jamal
that's a-
Hill. I'll tell
that's
you
a-
that
that-
much right
that's
now.
that's a good question.
Which
That's a
one are
good
you? I
question.
would love to
Listen.
hear the answer.
Oof, that's a good. Who am I?
You better say
more-
Charles.
Who am I
Mhm.
more confident? Let me really. I really got to think out loud. Oliveira, Saryukin, Hill, Pereira. Hill is coming off an injury. That worries me. I've said this before. That worries me a little
Yes.
bit. He's
Yes.
coming off. He's coming off an injury. We don't know if he's going to be 100%, and that's a factor. Oliveira looks massive against Bonilla. Watching these fights back, I'm pretty confident in both. But if
I have a crazy prediction.
I have
that
an
no
edge
one's-
for
That
Oliveira.
I have a crazy prediction that if I call this right, you can clip this and I'll go viral again. because I really think this is a high possibility that no one's even mentioning, no one's even talking about.
Okay.
I think Jamal Hill might miss weight.
Stop it, bro.
I'm being
boy.
I'm being
Stubby
serious.
boy.
I'm being serious. I'm
He
being
got the
serious.
belly.
I'm being
He's got
serious.
the
Look at
belly.
he looks flabby. Like he does not look
You
look
want to
like
talk about? You want to talk about
Yeah.
Kayla Harrison. What
He's-
about Jamal Hill?
I
He's-
think Jamal Hill can miss weight. That's just a bold, weird prediction I'm feeling like it could happen.
He's
Oh,
always
Jamal
looked flabby.
Sweet Tooth.
He's always
No,
looked a
it's
little
not
bit
like
flabby.
Miller, kinda, but not
Flabby.
like this. Like it's
That's not
noticeably
flabby.
a little bigger.
He's
He
always
looks like
looked
he got a
little-
beer belly.
He's always been a little. I know what Miller's saying, but not like this. Like it's noticeably worse now.
To what you're saying, that could be part of the injury and not being able to cut weight because he doesn't have a leg to
Exactly,
run on. And
exactly,
so
Miller.
again, that's why I might have to say yes. I feel more confident with Oliveira versus Saryukin. I'll give you that
Oh.
with the injury. Drew, I lied to you not. I feel confident in Oliveira. The guy has been
Oh, I
doubted
can't
one too
wait.
many times. One too many times. I might dye the hair blonde. I might.
That would be epic. You should.
I might dye the hair blonde. I might need to get a Brazilian flag. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to order it on Amazon in time, but Oliveira is that dude, bro. That dude, and he's been again. Trey brings up this whole he's been knocked down. He's never been knocked out cold like that. He's just been knocked down a few
He
times.
will be this weekend. He will
I
be
don't
this
think he's
weekend.
gonna. I don't see him knocking him out, Trey. I will
He's gonna
say
get
that. I don't see him.
He's gonna
I
get
see him. I
knocked
see him
out.
doing the same thing that happens. He'll get caught, and then Arman will take him down and then submit him.
Okay, if he
That's what I
doesn't,
think.
if he doesn't knock, hypothetically, if he doesn't knock him down or knock him out, and if he has trouble getting it to the ground, how do you feel
Then-
about the fight then?
Then I think Charles will outstrike him. But I
Okay,
don't think
that's
the
fair
reason
enough.
the reason I'm saying this is because I don't think he's going to have trouble getting it to the ground. Like I don't think it's going to be trouble for him to take down Charles Oliveira. I think he's going to be able to do it whenever he wants to.
That's listen. He got taken down by Beneil Dariush in a weak takedown. I'll admit. I was rewatching the
Yeah.
fight earlier today, and
Yeah.
he had Beneil had like one underhook and got the takedown. I'm like, what happened
Mhm.
there, Oliveira? I don't get it. And Arman is a little bit scary when it comes to the takedown.
Yeah.
So again, decent points, Drew. Nonetheless, to answer your question, yes, I'm more confident in Oliveira than Hill. Hill does look a little bit flabby. I'll give you that.
Do y'all know what fight I'm weirdly confident in that all y'all just laughed at me and brushed past?
Please don't say Cody. Please.
No, I've already said. I've already made my Cody point. This is another
Don't say
very
Max again. Don't say
not Max again. I'm very confident in Max, but not Max.
Drew, you're losing it, Drew. What happened?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all are making me think like I'm going crazy because I got these underdog picks. This
Too
could be
many.
this could be a very rich night for me if all these hit. But anyways, Aljamain Sterling has no stand up.
Oh my
He could get slept.
God. Cater has.
Hang
He,
up on
he
him.
might get knocked.
Hang up on him,
old.
Miller.
Oh my god.
Hang up
I
on him.
don't
You're talking about Calvin Cater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you serious,
Coming off
Get
a
the
leg
fuck-
injury.
champion?
Yeah.
Are you Drew? Drew,
Correct.
seriously?
What happened to Cater's? I mean, what happened to Sterling in his last fight?
He
Just
got caught
saying.
with his chin up in there. He was trying to prove a point.
Right.
Exactly.
Right,
And who?
that's the
Let me ask y'all a question. Who do honestly, not better striker, who punches harder, Calvin Cater or Sean O'Malley?
Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley.
No chance.
Yes.
Drew
Not
is,
not a better
100%.
striker. I'm talking about a harder
100%.
puncher.
Drew's
Sean
losing
O'Malley.
it. I'm
Oh
convinced.
my
Drew.
God.
Hang up on Drew. I cannot be family with him and have him embarrass us like this.
Oh my
Seriously, this is bad.
God. Okay.
No,
just
seriously.
remember.
He started off hot. He started off great. He's making great points about Illy. All these bums you pick who haven't beaten anybody and you're wrong all the time and all that stuff. I agree with all that. Then he just fell off the deep end right here.
Right. I agree with you and Alex.
It seems
Of
to be
course. Of course, he's gonna knock out. He's gonna flatline Jamal Hill too. Alex is gonna tap Jamal Hill's chin one time. He's gonna flatline him.
it seems to be a recurring theme. These callers call in. They start off a little bit good, and
They
and
get
then
rattled in the limelight.
and then they lose it. We do have Joe waiting. Drew feel
Yeah.
free to jump back in. Gonna add him.
Yeah. Yeah. My job
My
at work.
guy Drewski Blanco. Joe, what is on your mind? Because you've been waiting patiently.
Yeah, I want to say this. Drew made a absolute golden point.
Here we go.
Jamal Hill is kind of big, and he really could miss weight. And if he's not fully healthy off his Achilles, then he really might be heavy because he hasn't been able to work out like that because his Achilles has been hurting him. So I could really see that happening. That's a really good point by Drew. I want to make another point that no one's mentioning. Trey, can you look up? I want to say this. I think no one has said this so far, so I'm going to say it right now. I believe that Miller will change his pick to Alex Pereira before fight night.
Promise you, I won't.
I believe he will.
Promise you, I won't.
Miller,
Nothing
If you
surprises me
don't-
anymore.
Miller, if you don't change your pick after seeing Jamal Hill get up on the scale and look like a potato sack,
DC.
if you don't change your pick after that, then you really have a pride issue.
You
Seriously.
you have my word. I will not change my pick.
No,
He was
Miller,
going
I don't
number
want your word. I want you to be smart. I don't want your word. I don't care about your word. What I want you to do is I want you to be smart because I care about your channel, Miller.
Not
I don't want you to
possible,
look I don't want you to look stupid 2 times in a row with the main event
He'll do it.
pick.
I've been here before when I
It's like
picked
3,
Poirier to
4.
beat
This is like
Benoit.
5 times in a row. This is like 5
Miller,
times.
that
in a
wasn't
row.
the main event. No, that wasn't the main event. That was already a 50-50 fight.
When I picked Poirier to beat Volkanovski, people were calling me crazy. I've been here before. When I said everybody and their mom would beat Derek Lewis, when Derek Lewis was one of the scariest punchers in the world, and I kept picking against him, and I've been right every single time. I've been here before. I'm not new to see. You guys are new to the comments and the bashful hating, but I've been here before. I've been promoting Leon Edwards, and I've been right about him his whole career. Jamal Hill, if he's healthy, it is a big what if. He has the speed advantage, and he's going to land right down the middle. He's going to land a 1-2. He will potentially knock out Alex Pereira by the 3rd round.
So, Miller, let me ask you something. This is a serious question.
Yeah.
What happens when Alex Pereira punches him in his face? What do you think is going to happen?
Ironically, that's a very good question because Glover was able to land here and there. Harry got caught a few times against Pereira, and he was all right until he got caught with the left hook. He needs to stay away from the left hook. He needs to stay away from the left hook.
So you're saying Yuri was...
Let me tell you something.
The left hook isn't the scariest thing for Jamal Hill going into this fight.
Things like
You know what happens? You know what happens when you get an injury like an Achilles? God, I can't even say it. Achilles injury.
Diabetes.
The mentals get messed up a little bit
That's fair.
in the injury. And guess what's gonna happen when he steps in the octagon with Alex Pereira? He's gonna get that leg tore up. And it's going to be in his head the whole time, and he's going to be thinking about his lower body the whole time, which means Alex Pereira is going to absolutely flatline, knockout, collapse Jamal Hill.
It worries me.
It worries you?
It worries me a little bit.
It should do more than worry you.
But
it should have you frightened, spooked, shivered up against the court like Courage the Cowardly Dog. That's what you should be right now.
I'm not trying to sound as crazy as Drew because I know I know he goes off the rails a lot. But are you guys worried about Alex Pereira's chin because he's been touched a lot?
No.
Excuse me?
He's been touched a lot.
Touched a lot, really.
You weren't talking about Bill
knocked him
hands.
out cold. Adesanya knocked him out cold. Harry was hurting him a few times. Did you guys watch that fight?
Harry hurt him a few times. I remember Harry being back.
Sorry, I just remember Harry getting knocked out. That's on me.
You gotta watch it back. There was times that Harry was having his way, and I remember
it's a
even
fight, Miller.
I remember the lesser DC Daniel Cormier saying, "Oh, he hurt Alex there."
I'm
I
just
agree
trying
with him.
to.
I believe he was-
Daniel
he was
Cormier is wrong all the time, and when Alex Pereira fights Daniel Cormier this weekend, he's gonna absolutely knock him out.
Jamal Hill's battle right now is high blood pressure and diabetes because
Wow.
the way he looks, he does not look good. Okay. And then number two, this is what's so sad for him. You have people like Miller hyping him up, making him believe that he can actually go in there. And I think it's going to end up ruining his career.
Miller,
I'm going to say
Miller,
this. I'm
Miller.
going to Go ahead,
Joe,
Trey.
say it. No,
No.
say it, Joe. No,
Yeah,
okay,
I think,
look.
listen.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Trey. Okay, go ahead, Trey.
All right, look.
What
Okay.
I'm saying is,
Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
Joe,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe. Man, that's my bad.
No, I'll stop. Go ahead. All right, so
Okay, what I'm saying. All right,
Go ahead. No. Okay,
Nah,
come
go
on,
ahead.
stop.
Seriously,
We're not doing this anymore. Stop playing around.
Okay, I'm going then. I'm going to go right now.
All right, go ahead right now.
Okay, Jamal Hill, his career could be ended this Saturday.
Oh my god!
I'm being dead serious. His Achilles is not fully healed. His whole career could be ruined this Saturday night.
He's got a weak leg. He's got like 1.5 legs right now.
Okay, Trey, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
What I was gonna say is, Miller, listen, I get it, okay? Look, you go to the barbershop in Philly, okay? I'm sure there's some brothers in there that roast you when you come in there. Okay, I understand that. But what's worse? Getting roasted by some brothers in the barbershop, okay? Or coming on here and looking like an absolute clown every time you talk about the UFC. It's embarrassing. Jamal Hill has no chance.
I would love to clip this part. This is good.
You have my permission if that's what you're looking for. Jamal Hill has no chance. I'm telling you right now, he's going to go in there with Alex, and Alex is going to absolutely tear up his leg so bad. He's going to be wobbled on the leg. And then he's going to get absolutely nothing. It's going to be bad. Jamal Sweet Tooth Hill goes down this week.
Hey, have you ever seen tried to fold a paper airplane? Y'all remember in elementary school, middle school, we used to make them airplanes?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's going to be Jamal Hill's nickname after the hair absolutely folds him Saturday night. Jamal Hill, paper airplane.
So you guys remember, just to quickly ask, you guys remember how confident Trey just sounded a second ago, right?
Yes. Miller, I will say it's impressive. I like Trey's confidence. Sometimes he's right here. You have to admit he's right here.
Okay, I just has to be done. He sounded very confident. I'll give him that, and he almost sells me every time. Let me just quickly show a quick video of him sounding
I told y'all.
You see how
this is not me. This is not me. It doesn't even sound like me. This ain't me.
We're letting people like that call in.
He sounded very confident, right, guys? He almost sold me. Let's just watch Exhibit A of Trey sounding confident and it going wrongly.
Not even me. Call in. He's going to take Jamal down. He's going to wear him down. He's going to bully him and tear him up. I can see him taking him out in the 3rd or 4th round. You better believe it.
Jamal!
One more time, guys. One more time.
By decision, you're going to let people call in and say Jamal Hill by decision. Is this guy serious? Children called in past their bedtime on here. Never had a girlfriend. Still have to ask mommy if they can go play outside. We're letting people like that call in.
This is as bad as CNN. I mean, this
He's
is
gonna
awful.
wear him down. He's gonna bully him and tear him up. I can see him taking him out in the 3rd or 4th round. You better believe it.
No proof it's me.
It's
Miller,
just,
that's kind of messed up.
It's just beautiful how
That's kind of messed up, man.
He says you better believe it.
I don't even talk like that.
And then Jamal Hill has a title around his waist. So when he disrespects Hill, I'm sorry. Forgive me for not taking him that serious. Just forgive me. Jamal Hill is gonna go in there and he's gonna win.
Miller, how much money would it take to delete that off your page?
Can't happen. I won't take any offers. I think Jamal Hill gets the job done. Did we miss any fights today? We've been live for like what? An hour 35, an hour 40, an hour 40.
We didn't talk about Weili and Yan, but I just want to say this. We don't have to talk about it. You know, it is what it is. But I want to say,
Tarzan says crazy what AI can do these days.
it is crazy. It's disrespectful. The guy's absolutely slandering my name. It's not even me. It sounds nothing like me. But I want to say this: there is going to be an upset on the main card, and I think Yan is going to win the belt. Yep.
It's just a shame the things you say that are.
Write it down. Tell your friends.
I could make a whole video. I'm going to be able to make like a 5 to 10 minute video of you being wrong about this card. It's going to be incredible.
5 to 10. Miller, I could create a 2-hour documentary about every time you've been wrong in 2024 alone.
Stop it.
I'm serious. It's been bad. It's been, Miller, has it been raining a lot over there? Because it's been dark in your area.
It has.
There was an eclipse today.
Yeah, I don't know if he was aware. They probably don't have that in North Carolina. Anyways. Fun show. Joe, any last thoughts for you before we let Trey close the show out?
Yeah, I want to say, I want to thank you, Miller, for being honest, humbling yourself with with the Oliveira pick. That's a good look on you.
About that one, Joe. I feel really good about that one.
And Trey, I want to say to you, maybe you should start actually watching, past fights. And can you look at me, please?
Good suggestion.
Can you just start watching past fights again? And, start doing your homework. Go to the lab. And you're a good guy. You're a good guy. Listen, I don't care if people say. I read the comments on Instagram. What people say about you.
It's bad.
About how you're an idiot.
Which is true.
I don't think you're an idiot. Yeah, I don't think you're an idiot.
I comment on those videos too, and every time I comment, I talk about how dumb you are, and that's usually the most liked comment. So that's real funny you say that.
That was one video. That doesn't count. That's just one video.
Well, there's one video you sounded very dumb on.
This is my last thing I'm going to say. Someone has a comment on Miller's YouTube channel talking about my Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje comparison. And it has 22 likes on it. It's the top liked comment on the video, and it's against me. And I want to say that whoever commented that comment literally didn't even understand what I was saying. The comment says, Justin Gaethje is older than Max Holloway. What is bro talking about? As if I was even saying that Max Holloway was older than Gaethje. That's not what my point was. My point was that Max Holloway, when Max Holloway gets in there with Justin Gaethje, it's gonna look like an old man fighting a murderer. So Justin Gaethje is gonna make Max Holloway look like an old man. I wasn't saying that Max Holloway is older than Justin Gaethje.
This idiot thought Max Holloway was older than Justin Gaethje, you dummy. Are you serious?
That's what I'm saying.
Are you serious? You're
Okay. That's it. That's all I have to say.
And you call in and act like you know about the UFC and talk fights and all this stuff. You don't even know the dude is younger.
Right.
That comment got to him. I got to.
All right, Miller. That's it. You just look. I'm done.
There you have it. Listen, I'm gonna get out of here. One thing real quick, is that this Saturday is UFC 300. We'll be covering it live. I can't wait for all the call-ins. We will be accepting live call-ins during the event because it's going to be a long one. We're going to start on the early prelims. So we're going to have a super long stream. Be there this Saturday. Also, one more thing, and then I'm going to give Trey the floor. He's going to be able to close us out. It's almost 20 minutes long, my prediction video for the whole UFC 300 card. If you want to go check that out, it's spammed in the chat. Trey, thank you so much for always coming through. I can't wait for UFC 300. You have the floor. I'm out of here. God bless. Trey, the floor is yours.
I am so sorry that you boys had to sit here and listen to this absolute clown sit up here and abuse his platform once again. It makes me sick to my stomach. Sure enough, how long have I been saying that this guy's an absolute flip-flop? He's a pancake. He's a U-turn. They're calling him IHOP now. I've been calling him so long that people are finally starting to get along with it. And sure enough, what does he do? He turns right back around and does it again on the card approaching us. Ladies and gentlemen, UFC 300 is upon us. And I'm telling you right now, I won't be wrong on this card. You can mark my words. Alex Pereira getting the knockout. Jan getting the upset. Justin Gaethje taking out Max Holloway. Charles Oliveira getting baptized, getting absolutely flatlined by Arman Tsarukyan. And Bo Nickel's going to do an absolute dog work, of course. And then Drew's an absolute clown for coming on here and trying to bet us Cody No Chin Garbrandt. It makes me absolutely sick to my stomach. I'm so sorry you had to sit here and listen to these clowns, but it doesn't matter because the source was on here once again, speaking the knowledge, talking to his people, letting people know where to put their money and how to make more with it. I'm telling you right now, this is the big weekend. UFC 300 is here. It is the best fight card of the year and will be. Nothing